Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing a battle for Zendikar Swiss Draft. Prism Array, foil Prism Array, open. I think we're going to take Scatter to the Winds though. What else is in here that's good? Nothing else too crazy good. Molten Nursery, kind of build around card, certainly not a good first pick. Ulamog's Reclaimer, maybe if we wheel it, I'll finally make the processing deck. Once again, as I've mentioned so many times in the past, this time I'll at least amend the statement. I'm willing to at least, you don't have to go fully committed processing if you're in blue-black. Like, just the fact that processing is a prominent theme of the blue-black deck still means you can play the cards that have processing. You know, I guess I don't want to open the rabbit hole too wide again, but I did say I would like to draft blue-black and have a processing theme one of these days. Could happen. All right. To be honest, kind of an unexciting pack. There is Spell Shrivel, which I guess is fine for the, perfectly playable card. Tends to go later. Kind of tempted to just take the outnumber here. It seems like it's the best card remaining in the pack, seeing as its removal. Blue-red is also a good devoid archetype, but I think we'll take outnumber here. Okay. I think probably just taking Clutch here. Most likely the strongest card. Few good red picks. Also have Hedron Archive, Kozilek's Channeler, Culling Drone, all of which are fine. We're going to take Clutch. Try and stick with our powerful blue picks at the moment. Okay. Could take the Goral Helm Guide. Could actually just take the Evolving Wilds. Maybe finally make the Grixis Devoid deck work as well. There's an Akum Stonewaker, which is fine. Yeah, perfectly acceptable. Does not exactly play best with Scatter to the Winds, or even Clutch of Currents, really. I mean, they're fine together. Scatter to the Winds and Stonewaker don't really play all that well together, though. I guess Outnumber plays okay with it. Make another creature, and then you can at least shock. It's actually decent. I still think I'm going to take Evolving Wilds here, though. Okay. Interesting. So, only blue card is Oracle of Dust, which I don't think we're taking. No red cards. Colostrated Healer's fine. More of the black-white card. Painful Truths just might be the pick. It is card draw. We have Evolving Wilds, which makes at least drawing 3, losing 3 a possibility. Yeah, I guess we take it. Nothing else in here is pretty excellent or even all that good. I mean, I love Beastmaster, but it usually goes this late. And doesn't... if you're playing green and blue, you're probably converging. Which I guess we have Evolving Wilds we could do, but I think I'd rather just take Painful Truths. Still a chance I make blue-black happen. Rising Miasma. There is Sludge Crawler and Murkstrider. Okay. Very interesting. Kind of want to go deep on Awaken and take the Miasma, but this might be a good opportunity to take the Sludge Crawler. If you're going to make a blue-black deck work, well, see, the problem is you need the cards that are worth processing, like Murkstrider, but having Murkstrider without cards like Sludge Crawler certainly make them significantly worse. I could just be safe and take the Miasma. Like it's a good board wipe, I think. LSV doesn't love it, but I probably like it more than he does. But I also like Sludge Crawler, seeing as it ingests. I think we're actually going to go Sludge Crawler. I like Miasma a lot, but if we do go blue-black, which seems like we could, I'm going to want to be able to ingest. I guess I take Grave Birthing here. I could actually take the Shatterskull Recruit, which I think is fine, but Grave Birthing also does kind of process or feed the processing plan. Card draw as well. Okay. Now I guess Boiling Earth versus Rush of Ice. Also Vampiric Rites. Vampiric Rites, fine with a token strategy, not incredible outside of that. I guess we can take Rush of Ice. I don't really like it for this kind of deck. Could take the Boiling Earth for that reason. I have Evolving Wilds. I still can make Grixis work. Grixis Devoid. I think I'm still going to take Rush of Ice. Alright, well, Boiling Earth anyway. Could take the Sharpshooter now, though. Sharpshooter seems fine and playable. Don't love it. Do not love the Prism Array. I think we'll take the Sharpshooter here. It's fine. Alright, I guess we'll take Salvage Drone. Maybe I'd take Devastator. Also have Fertile Thicket, which is a fine card to play for Painful Truths. Not super color intensive yet. I don't have enough ramp to make Devastator work, and I'm not sure if I'm in blue-black if I can make that work. Salvage Drone's not a very good card. I think we're just taking Thicket, actually. Alright, Culling Drone came back. That's not an incredible card, but does have Ingest, so... Guess now we're officially looking for... I think I'm actually going to take the Stalker. Not because I'm going to play it, but I want to cut black. Alright, could possibly play the Demon's Grasp. It is playable, it's just not a very good card. Alright, I mean, like I said, I'm basically trying to make a blue-black deck work, and... I'll pick up the processing that I can. Otherwise, I'm going to be focusing on just powerful cards. Currently, I do have 3 ways to either ingest or feed processing by exiling, which is not horrible. Gruesome Slaughter, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Zulaport Cutthroat's a pretty strong card. If you're in color with black, you don't need to be in a black-white or an ally deck to make this card good. It really is just good. I think I'm probably taking Zulaport Cutthroat. Otherwise, maybe Silent Skimmer is fine too. It blocks well. But I just straight up like Cutthroat, so I think I'm going to take it here. Also Dampening Pulse, which I think is a pretty legitimate card, but I think I would still prefer to have the Cutthroat. It's one of those cards where certain board states it can be some inevitability. Like late game, it's actually a pretty powerful card on a stalled board state. It's annoying to play against as well. It's just good. It really is just good. Alright, there's Blighted Cataract. There's Complete Disregard, which I guess is probably the pick. Also feeds processing. Currently we have no processors. Hope to wield a Ruin Processor, but I think we're just going to take the Disregard. I guess there's Retreat, which we could splash with the Evolving Wilds. Yeah. I mean, it's good. I think Disregard being on color with what we're already kind of going for, and the fact that it's pretty powerful removal otherwise, I think probably puts that over the top. Okay. Seems like the time to take the Merc Strider. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ways now to exile. We could get some more. Nothing else in here we really care about if we're trying to play blue-black, so okay. Try it. Alright, this is interesting. This is really interesting, actually. I think even though Malakir Familiar isn't exactly what this kind of deck wants, it's just such a strong card that I want it. I mean, I could take the Spell Shrivel, I could take the Transgress, or the Rune Processor. I think we hope to wheel one of those 3 cards and take the strongest card, which is just Familiar. The fact that it's evasive means you can bash in with it. The fact that it has Death Touch means it trades with important, powerful creatures. It's just a really strong card in black. And the whenever you gain life ability is actually just completely irrelevant. The fact it's like icing on the cake that we can even activate it in this deck, but we got to take the Familiar here. It's just so strong. Okay. Well, Processor's going for days, so this seems like an okay time to take it. We'll get one. Probably cutting out Number now. Nothing else in here we really care about. And Processor, we did want to get one, so we have the means to probably activate it. All right, Mindraker, another way to use process or ingest cards. Now we actually need some more ingest cards though if we're gonna hope to make these work. But all right, second rune processor. Probably don't need two, but there's just nothing else in here for us. Could hate pick like a Crusher or a Rumbler. Those are both pretty good. Probably don't need multiple rune processors. Let's hate a Rumbler. I think it's... Plated Crusher at least takes a while for my opponent to get on. And I don't like Mortuary Mire very much. Yeah, Grove Rumbler just seems like the biggest threat. I think we probably wheel or see another rune processor anyway. It just seems irrelevant or not necessary to take one at this point. So certainly building a deck that I usually do not. All right, we'll take another Mindraker over a second Demon's Grasp and a Skyline Cascade. That's fine. All right, I mean, so now we have the processors. We're looking for more ingesters. Have 4 ways to do it currently. So, I mean, if we see Miss Intruder in pack 3, seems like a deck that could make some use of it. I'd be willing to try it out. Hope to see some more Sludge Crawlers or Complete Disregards. Settle for Kelling Drone, but we'll see. Okay, taking Silent Skimmer. It blocks and attacks reasonably well. All right, got the Blighted Cataract back. It seems like a pretty clear pick for this deck. Swarm Surge isn't really what the blue-black deck wants anyway. But Blighted Cataract is actually pretty good. Second Fertile Thicket's starting to get pretty awkward here. Not that we're super color intensive or anything, because we're not. But, I mean, I'm not going to play a Devastator. I'm not going to play a Stalker. Guess we'll consider another Thicket. Seems pretty unlikely. All right, Salvage Drone versus second Rush of Ice. I mean, in a pinch, we might need some more Ingesters, sadly. Salvage Drone's not a very good one, but if we're short on them, we might have to play it, because we actually have the means to process, and a second Rush of Ice just doesn't seem like something that's going to make the deck. So, as of now, I'd prefer to not play the Salvage Drone. It really is bad outside of turn 1. Looting is not good enough. So, let's see here. Sky Spawner is just a really powerful card. Also have Carrier Thrall in here, but it's got to be Sky Spawner, I think. Yeah. Nothing else in here we really care about. Sky Spawner is just super strong, really excellent card. Alright, so looking for some Ingesters, if we can find some. That does not include Salvage Drone. So we have Titan's Presence, currently have Culling Drone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards that interact with it. It's not bad. It's not amazing either. It could take Kozilek's Channeler. I usually want like 8 to 10 before I feel comfortable running Titan's Presence. And you obviously cannot count Silent Skimmer. There's a Rolling Thunder in here, which is scary, but nothing to be done. Maybe we take the Channeler. Could also take the Incubator Drone. Neither of which are super exciting. Could take the Titan's Presence, hope to wheel the Drone or the Channeler. I don't know how likely that is to happen either. Guess we'll take Channeler. It's a pretty decent threat on its own. It helps you get to your Scatter the Wind stuff. Okay. Could take the From Beyond. I mean, it has positive interaction with Cutthroat. We have Fertile Thickets and Evolving Wilds to, like, splash for it, which also feeds into our Painful Truths plan. Might just want the Mire's Malice, though. Guess we already have a couple Mindrakers. Could take Bone Splinters. Could take a second Grave Birthing. Also have Adverse Conditions. All of these cards are decent options. Malice still might be good enough. I'm not sure. Maybe just the conditions. It buys time well. It's a pretty awesome card. Good tempo card, potentially, too. Guess we'll take conditions, I think. Hope to Wheel Malice. Like I said, already having double Mindraker makes it a little less necessary. Hope to Wheel the Grave Birthing, maybe, too. Okay, now it's Anticipate versus... I don't really have a lot going on early, which kind of makes me want to take the Anticipate. Could take a second Evolving Wilds. Basically allows us to make Painful Truths work a little bit better. Probably unnecessary, though. Could just take Anticipate. Something to do early. Alright. Alright. Guess we're slamming Culling Drone here since we're just, like I said, super short on ingest. I actually don't think Culling Drone's a very good ingester, but it allows us to maybe trade and then play a Grave Birthing and feed processing that way. We don't have, I mean, whatever. Otherwise, we're taking like Spawning Bed, which is fine, not amazing. We still need early plays, though, so I think the Culling Drone seems like it's in line with what we're doing. Alright, we can take Myers Malice now. Probably still playing it. Still have to make a cut, actually, already. Probably Salvage Drone. Just, even though it's got ingest, it's just bad enough where 1-mana 1/1's just not acceptable. I mean, Retreat has positive interaction with Evolving Wilds and Malakir Familiar, but outside of that, not incredible. It could take a second Myers Malice. We're probably just not playing Retreat, I don't think. This really doesn't strike me as a Retreat deck so much. Guess I can take a second Malice. Okay, so unfortunately, even though I tried to make a processing deck work, it just really didn't come together in terms of a solid processing plan. I think the deck is probably, it looks okay. It's not great. I think it's acceptable. Wish I could have made it work, so people would say that I gave the deck a fair shot, because I legitimately did try and make the give the processing deck a fair shot this time around, but didn't come together as nicely as I would have liked, as cleanly as I would have liked. I think we're just probably hating a Gnarlid. Seems like the most annoying, aggressive creature. I'm not playing the first Salvage Drone, so I probably just hate a Nettle Drone, which is pretty annoying. Alright. Taking and possibly playing the second Grave Birthing just because we're that short on ingest. Dutiful Return, maybe. Sure. Okay. So, got to make some cuts. We'll be able to figure that out. Maybe Sharpshooter's a better sideboard card anyway. Probably don't need to main deck it. It's probably certain matches where it's not great anyway. Try and thematically get this deck going a little bit more. Probably don't need double Myers Malice. One should be sufficient. So how many ways do I have to ingest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is not that many. But how many ways do I have to process? I guess it's just Mercstrider, Double Mindraker, Rune Processor. So it's not like the deck is in emergency mode where I have a ton of processors and not a ton of ways to make the processing happen. But we just really didn't pick up a ton of powerful cards otherwise. I guess we have, like, it's not like our deck's terrible. It's not a terrible deck. Like, we have all these Awaken cards too, so we actually have a lot more creatures than it appears. In fact, we have like 16 creatures if you include all of our Awaken cards, which is not bad. Our curve could be better, but I think we definitely want to run 18 lands because we have card advantage with Painful Truths and Anticipate. Plus, I still think I'm running a Fertile Thicket and Evolving Wilds. I don't think I'm running 2 Fertile Thickets, though. So we'll run, like, Evolving Wilds, I guess, like, Mountain. And we're not super color intensive, so it's fine. I mean, you could run... You don't want to run Forest, actually, because you want to be able to... If you can't see your blue mana, you want to be able to go, like... Say you have, like, a Mountain. You want to be able to go, like, Mountain, Fertile Thicket, black mana, Painful Truths, if you can't find your blue mana. Does that make sense? Like... But maybe you would just find your blue mana anyway. I mean, I guess it's more like... If you have a hand that doesn't have Evolving Wilds, then you probably still would like blue mana. It's kind of irrelevant whether I run a green mana and a Fertile Thicket or a red mana or a Fertile Thicket. It's pretty much irrelevant. I don't need green mana for anything. I don't need red mana for anything. So it doesn't matter. If I had more Converge, I think it would matter. We are going to run Blighted Cataract too, though. And I'm not going to run 2 Fertile Thicket. That seems excessive. So I just need to make one more cut. I mean, Rush of Ice, this isn't exactly a Rush of Ice deck, but I don't mind running one. Kind of feel like I'm going to need these Grave Birthings. Probably want the Demon's Grasp. Still want at least one Mire's Malice. Definitely want the Anticipate. Can't cut any of the early things. Maybe I do cut Rush of Ice. It seems like something that I could cut. My removal is what? I guess Disregard, Demon's Grasp, Scatter to the Winds, which isn't really removal. So more like Disregard, Demon's Grasp. Clutch is kind of removal too. We don't have a ton of removal. Adverse Conditions, kind of removal. I think we'll still cut the Rush of Ice. This deck's not great. It's okay. I'm not super impressed with it. I was hoping to play Misintruder so people, like I said, so people would see that I was trying to give it a chance, but it didn't come together as nicely as I had hoped. So way more black than blue, but we do have double blue. Cataract, Fertile Thicket. So we want, let's try, I guess, the one Mountain. This would be 7 blue, 9 black, 2 red, I guess. It's basically I'm running this so that I can search it up with Evolving Wilds for Painful Truths. But maybe that's greedy. Maybe I just... Basically, I'm trying to justify running a Mountain so that I can play Painful Truths for 3. Even if you play Painful Truths for 2, it's probably fine. I mean, maybe at that point I'm better off just running 2 Fertile Thickets and have Evolving Wilds there to fix me for my other colors. 9 and 7. Could try that, I guess. So I'm playing 2 Fertile Thickets as basically ways to find another land or play my Painful Truths. I actually don't mind that. That seems okay. That seems okay to me. 3 into the battlefield tap lands, but I don't think that's a huge deal either. We don't have any other converge in the deck, correct? No. Okay. So, pretty mediocre looking deck, to be perfectly honest. Seems like a deck that could win, but wish it had. It just basically it didn't have. It doesn't have a ton of bomby. Doesn't have a ton of bomminess to it, which I think could pose a problem. But we'll run it like this. We'll see what we can do with it. Wish there were more ways to ingest in here, I guess. I think we were basically competing, but we'll give it a go. We'll see what this. Like I said, the kind of low risk factor of this blue-black deck is we're not dedicated processing. Basically, these can be hill giants and still acceptable, but obviously not great. And this being a 4-mana 3/2 is not great either. But hopefully we'll see if this is enough ingest to reliably turn on the 4 processing required spells that we have. All right, we'll see you round 1.